Never a dull day in crypto. Hi, my name is Andrei Jikh. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling better than I am. I still feel a little bit under the weather, but not as bad as the people who just lost over $600 million of crypto, which included $273 million of Ethereum, another $253 million of tokens on the Binance Smart Chain, and another $85 million of USDC. And that, folks, is why we can't have nice things. In today's video, I want to talk about exactly what happened, but first I just want to quickly say that this is not crypto being hacked. The blockchain is still very much safe and secure. It was just the exchange itself that was compromised. Now, the exchange is called the polynetwork, which is a cross-chain platform protocol, which has no relationship to Polygon. Polygon is very popular. This is polynetwork, not Polygon. And the polynetwork was created by the same guy who invented the Neo cryptocurrency from China, which, if you remember, was super popular way back in 2017. So smash the like button if you were one of the OGs who had some ant shares. I had some ant shares, and then they were rebranded to Neo, and then I became the one. So the Poly network is an exchange that allows you to convert one crypto from one blockchain into another. So for example, you could deposit something like Bitcoin and then convert it into Ethereum, or Ethereum into Doge, and so on and so forth with whatever crypto you want to use. And so the question becomes, why would you want to use something like this? And the answer is DeFi, decentralized finance. One of the biggest benefits of DeFi is that it allows you to sort of go around KYC, which is know your customer laws. And this means that anyone in the world could get started by just creating a wallet from anywhere in the world, and without giving up their name, their address, their social security number, could just get started right away. And that means, in some way, taxes become optional. Now, I'm not saying you should not pay your taxes. I pay my taxes, and I think everyone should, but it's just one of the things that DeFi sort of makes possible. And for a lot of people, that is very appealing. So the Poly network is sort of like a magical currency converter that is decentralized. Another benefit of these decentralized exchanges is that the fees are much lower than centralized exchanges, because prices are what they are and you just pay them and you do whatever you want to do. Another reason that people love them is because the interest that these decentralized exchanges pay us is insanely high. For example, in a traditional bank, you could get something like 0.1% on your savings account, which is very little, right? But then there is centralized finance in the crypto space, and these are companies like BlockFi and Gemini and Coinbase. By the way, blockfi.com/Andrei, go get up to $250 worth of free Bitcoin. Just gonna plug that right there. Those websites could pay you anywhere between 2 to 5% or maybe a little bit more on your crypto, which is much, much better than traditional finance. Now, DeFi exchanges could pay you, and I've seen interest rates higher than 10% per year, which is insanely high. And the reason they're able to do that is because they've cut out the middleman. Once those marketplaces are set up and going, there's nobody operating them on the other end. There are no humans, there are no shareholders. Those marketplaces just exist and they just do their thing, which is why they're able to pass the costs and then give us those high yields. That's DeFi. And like it or not, that is going to be the future of fintech. That is the direction we're going. Now, so far, it hasn't really taken off because of two major reasons. Reason number one is because it's very, very complicated and you have to be pretty tech savvy, and chances are grandpa and grandma are not about to stake their Bitcoin and then atomically swap it for Ethereum so they could do some yield farming. It's just not gonna happen anytime soon. But the biggest reason, arguably, is because of the risk. And the risk is that if a decentralized exchange is breached, like in the case of the Poly network, chances are you're most likely not going to get your money back. Well, technically there's two ways you can get your money back, which I'll tell you in just a second, but first, here's what actually happened. Without getting too technical, the attacker was able to modify what's called the keeper role. Now, the attacker was somehow able to change this keeper role to one person and redirect it somehow in a way that's way too technical for me to explain and understand. So I'm just gonna leave the analysis down below in the description of this video if you wanna check that out. But the more important question is, for the people who lost that $600 million, is that money just gone forever, or is there a way to recover it? Turns out there are two ways to recover it. And the first method is you just catch the guy and you hope you can threaten him enough with enough legal ramifications to get him to reverse the transactions. And thankfully there's progress on that front because there's a cybersecurity company called Slowmist, not sponsored, which said that they actually found his IP address, his email address, his device fingerprint. So hopefully we actually catch the guy and get him to reverse the transaction. And that's method number one. The second method is actually very, very cool. It's a little controversial, but it's going to affect all of us if it ends up happening again. Because believe it or not, it has happened before in the past, not that long ago in 2016 with Ethereum, when someone stole roughly $50 million worth of Ethereum, which is a ton of money. But instead of trying to find and catch the guy who did it, Ethereum was like, no problem, and it hard forked. It split into two different paths. On one path, we had the attacker who was very rich and successful with his attack, and the other path where the attack was reversed and it never happened. It's almost like Back to the Future when Marty and Doc Brown traveled back to the past to try to fix the timeline, except unlike Back to the Future, where all the timelines coalesce into one main storyline, in this case, both storylines are allowed to exist at the same time, which is also why we have Ethereum as we know it today and Ethereum Classic. The people who held Ethereum Classic believe that crypto should be immutable, that no one should be able to change it, and no matter what happens, we should stay true to ourselves and the technology, and no one should go back to the past and change history. But the people who held on Ethereum said, no, let's just give people back their money. But here's what's cool. If you held on to Ethereum before the hard fork, you would have received an equal amount of both Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, which means you could have technically lived in either reality whenever you wanted to. Now, obviously, Ethereum is much more valuable today than Ethereum Classic is, so that should show you which path most people want to go down. But that is the story of how Ethereum Classic was born, and that, kids, is how I met your mother. The problem is, if we decide to go with option 2, and if all the cryptos that were affected by this decide to hard fork, we would have another political debate about which crypto chain is the more valid one, and we'd have another Ethereum Classic situation again, and not everybody wants to help other people. But I think this is a great example of how cryptocurrencies can come together to fix a problem that doesn't seem fixable. It's also how we might tackle the problem of quantum computing in the future. And I think it really shows us that centralized finance companies are not going to go away in the future. Companies like exchanges and brokerages and banks, people-operated companies, are not going to go away. They will always play a role in society. It's also why I don't want to stake my money to earn 10% yield if I know there's a 1% chance that 100% of my money could be gone. That's why I talk about companies like Coinbase and Gemini and BlockFi, because I care about the safety of my money and I care about the safety of yours too. Hopefully that showed you the two different sides and the two different perspectives in crypto. In the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Go get up to $250 worth of free Bitcoin with this BlockFi link right here. Go get those 2 free stonks with Webull. When you deposit $100, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300. Go track them automatically with the spreadsheet linked down below in my Patreon. Love you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you back here on Monday, Friday, sometimes a Wednesday. I'll see you soon. Take care.